Here we go to start off this IndyCar season here in 2025. From the streets of Chicago, Connor Daly on the inside, Scott Dixon on the outside, and then it's one of the new boys, Premo, with Robert Schwartzman in third place as Connor Daly takes the green flag, and we are racing here in 2025 at the streets of Chicago. Robert Schwartzman going to go to the inside of Scott Dixon, off the line as they head through turn 2. On the bow now, Christian Lundgaard, the new McLaren driver, is right there alongside. And there is Kiffin Simpson as well. And the number 8 cars that head the Lakeshore Drive headed to turn 3. Benjamin Peterson going to send it down the inside of Nolan Siegel, and he hits the wall. Nolan Siegel hits the wall. Hopefully he didn't get any damage, but he stays ahead of Benjamin. On the outside, here comes Scott Dixon on Connor Daly. He's going to go defensive, Daly, on the inside. Smart move there from him. Oh, Dixon, I thought he was going to touch the wall there. Robert Schwartzman in the back in the Prema. Right there, he's going to try and linger back there. Good defense, though, from Daly. On the inside, here comes Benjamin Peterson on the inside of Nolan Siegel. And no, Siegel going to defend. He stays ahead. Benjamin Peterson going to go to the inside of Nolan Siegel as they head up to Lakeshore Drive, headed to turn 3. And Benjamin Peterson is ahead. Finally, he manages to get ahead of Siegel. Well, we're nearly halfway to this race, at least a quarter of the way through it. Connor Daly leads ahead of Scott Dixon. And then one of the new boys in Prema, Robert Schwartzman, the rookie. And then right behind him, Christian Lundgaard, the new era McLaren driver, Kiffin Simpson in the mix as well. And then quite a bit of a gap to Scott McLaughlin in the Thirsty Threes. Looks like the Prema of Robert Schwartzman is done with these tires. He's in the pit lane, along with Scott Dixon there. And that's Marcus Armstrong. He comes in as well. Dixon stays out. And then you have Alex Palou, the reigning champion. And then Kiffin Simpson. Here comes Christian Lundgaard on the outside of Scott Dixon. Trying to take second place, and he's hit the wall. He's hit the wall. Christian Lundgaard has damage on the front wing, and he's ruined this entire race now. He's slow. Christian Lundgaard off the pace, and they're going around him. There's definitely DeFrancesco. Nolan Siegel going to go through as well. And he's hit the wall, too. Nolan Siegel's hit the wall, and he's lost a piece of his front wing. The two newest McLaren drivers for this team have both hit the wall. Here's what happened with Christian Lundgaard. He's just on the outside of Scott Dixon, and then right there, that barrier greets him, because you know how narrow this track is, and you see it dents the front wing just a little bit on the left side. So that's how he got his damage there. He was slow. Here comes Nolan Siegel, his teammate behind, and then right here is whenever you see, because as you know, again, this narrow track is hard to get around, and then bang, there goes Nolan Siegel into the wall. The 20-year-old driver from California, the youngest driver here. He loses a part of his front wing. That could be a caution. I don't know. They've kept it green so far. But the two newest McLaren drivers have hit the wall. And that could have pretty much just ruined their entire race. Oh, caution. We got a crash. Onboard Arenas VK for this one. He just wiggles out and he hits Benjamin Peterson and he's in the wall. And his race is over. Benjamin Peterson out. Also, Peterman was coming out of the pit lane as well as VK was coming through. So Benjamin Peterson was coming out of the pit lane, and here it is, boom. That's the contact with VK, and then VK, I think, could have damage as well, and that last hit there is what catapulted Peterson, and his race is over. VK has a drive-through penalty. The new boys, Prema, with Robert Schwartzman on board, is going to bring his car through along with Marcus Armstrong and Scott Dixon, but Schwartzman heads out the final corner in his first ever race. And Prema's first race, Robert Schwartzman wins the season opener at the streets of Chicago, along with Marcus Armstrong, and Scott Dixon completes the podium with Kiffin Simpson behind him. Well, Schwartzman wins this race ahead of Marcus Armstrong and Scott Dixon and Kiffin Simpson. Stingray Robb, the rookie, Jacob Abel, Santino Ferrucci, Devlin DeFrancesco, Louis Foster, and Pato O'Rourke completes the top 10. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time out in Sebring next time. But until then, goodbye.